What if I tell you that you can travel around the world so cheaply, it will be even cheaper than living at your own home? And let me explain what I mean by that. But first of all, let's go somewhere nice. Honestly, I have no idea what is that place, but I quite like it. So beautiful. I just googled viewpoint and that place came. For the last 3 years of my life, I do slow travel. And I would like to share some experience with you and tell you about slow travel and explain what it is. I spent 3 of my years living in 4 different countries: Russia, Germany, Thailand, and Georgia. I try to spend in a country at least 6 months, but usually I spend more, up to a year. And don't get me wrong, I still love usual travels. I love to go somewhere for a week or two and explore a place. But today it is not a topic of a video. I would like to tell you about slow travel, how to go in a country and live there for extended amount of time, such as half a year, for example. That type of travel gives me so much more joy. I feel like I'm doing what I've been dreamed of, and I'm convinced that you can too. It is not difficult and it is not expensive. But why did I choose a lifestyle like this? Isn't it scary? Honestly, it is, but just a little bit. Lifestyle like this gives me an opportunity to experience so much more. So often I get the feeling that it is a purpose of my life and it is exactly what I wanted to do. And I've never experienced that feeling before. And I don't need to call a specific place on earth as a home. I don't have a home. Every place I visit is a home for me, but for some time. The thing is that I love to travel. I love to explore. I love visiting different countries and cities. But there is just no way that I can say that I can call a specific place as my home, or that at least I know a place, I'm familiar with a place after 1 week or 2 weeks. And staying long in a certain place gives me an opportunity to say that. But even more, it gives me an opportunity to travel, because it is much cheaper than traveling for a shorter amount of time. There is just no way I could afford to visit as many countries as I visited in my life if I didn't do that type of slow travel when I stay in a certain place for 6 months or more. In that video I will share how it started, and in the second part I will tell you how you can do it yourself. You see, I was born in a little city in the middle of nowhere. The closest big city around me was 700 kilometers away from me. But it never stopped my mother from traveling. She started to travel when I was 3 years old. Every year it was something different. Most of the time it was some travel nearby, but in some years we went quite far. And most of my time as a teenager I wanted to leave that house, go as far as I can. In Europe perfectly, but Moscow was fine as well. And obviously, if you want to move out from your parents, the best way to do it is university. You can study somewhere. And the biggest factor of choosing a university is an availability of international programs. That university should be able to send some students to study abroad. And that became my goal. I wanted to study anywhere I could. So I applied every program possible. I tried work and travel, I tried many international programs in Europe, at many different countries. And during that time, I tried to travel. I did my first travels by myself. But unfortunately, it didn't go as smooth as I wanted it to be, and COVID struck. So for a few years, I had to postpone my dream of going to study somewhere abroad. At 2021, I applied to study in Germany. And after a few months of waiting, I received a letter of enrollment. I was so hyped about it. I wanted to study in Germany so badly. And finally I got the place. I am going to Germany. I will study in Europe at least 6 months. I became all the documents preparation, all the visa requirements. I borrowed so much money to show the German government I have enough to study there, but of course I didn't. And everything went so smoothly. It was a city I wanted to go, it was university I wanted to go, it was a program I wanted to go. I was dreaming about it, like every day. It was the only thing I was thinking about. But the reality hit me a second time. At 24th February of 2022, the war between Russia and Ukraine started. Few days later, German university called me and said me, "You're not welcome. You're from Russia, and Russian students are not welcome in Germany. We will not accept you. Please stay at home." And it was it. I didn't go. I tried to trade with them. I tried to prove that I'm worthy. I tried to change their mind, but they didn't. And I stayed at Moscow. 2 weeks later, my home university called me and said that they found a university that is ready to accept me. It was University of Schmalkalden, a tiny village in the middle of Germany. I called them, I asked for some details, and they was ready to accept me, and I decided, why the hell not? So I bought another ticket and flew to Germany. That is the beginning of my so-called slow travel journey. So I knew I had a year, and I had two options. I could either find a job in Germany and stay there, or I could go home. Simple as that. And I tried. At that moment, I thought I wanted to stay in Germany. I thought that I want to build the wealth in that country. But after 6 months, I got so tired and bored. And honestly, I surrendered. I already explored the whole country, and staying in that place will be just a waste of my time. I could go in other places, I could see so much more. And I don't necessarily have two options, I have three options. I could go travel. Why not? So I decided to travel in Europe. In that time I was studying in Germany. I visited about 10 new countries, which is quite easy considering the fact that Europe is quite small. And after 1 year in Germany, I came back to Moscow. I finished my bachelor degree, I got my diploma. But that place never felt home anymore. You know, I visited so many places, so many countries, and I wanted to continue. I wanted to see other parts of the world as well. I've never been in Asia, I've never been in South America, I've never been in America. And I wanted to travel. And I decided to explore Asia. So I went to Thailand. And let me tell you, Thailand is a magnificent country. It is probably the best country I've ever been. And it is so nice to be there. It feels like paradise, always summer, always fruits, always beautiful weather. I don't know a single person who came to Thailand and said that he didn't like it. Absolutely everyone loves that country. But even though I love Thailand and I love being there, after 8 months I got a little bit tired. I got tired from the same food, from the same temperature whole year. And I decided to go. I wanted something familiar, something that I know. The next destination of my life became Georgia, Tbilisi. And since Georgian culture is very familiar with Russian culture, moving there was a safe bet. It felt like home. I could buy familiar groceries, I can eat familiar cuisine, my friends can visit me sometimes. And I decided to stay there in 6 months. But from the beginning, I understood that it is definitely not the end of my journey. And at some time later, I will move somewhere else and I will continue to explore. And here I am. I'm in Thailand right now, back in Bangkok. So, I've been changing countries for the last 3 years, and right now I would like to answer some of the questions you might have. And obviously, first of all, how to afford all of this. You see, traveling is much cheaper than you think. If you travel for a longer time, say half a year, it will be much easier to find an apartment, and even easier if you want to find it for a whole year. And you already pay the rent, right? So if you decide to move to another country, you might find that life here is actually cheaper than in your hometown. The rent could be cheaper, the life could be cheaper. And the only money you will spend is on flight tickets and maybe some like kitchen utensils you will buy. But that's it. And if you travel slowly, if you stay in a place for a few months, half a year, it becomes so easy. You just pack your things, you go to another country, find an apartment here and live there. Live your usual life. I never made big amount of money in my life. I have a usual salary which is around $1,000, and $1,000 is enough for two people, especially in Asia. In Europe or US, of course it will be more, but in some cheap countries 1,000 is more than enough. If you don't waste money on things, if you try to cook at home, if you track your budget and think how much you spend, it becomes so easy. You just don't buy things you don't need, and 1,000 is definitely more than enough. And it is definitely more than possible to make 1,000 working online. For example, I rented this beautiful, amazing house for less than $500 a month. Another example, this condominium in Thailand. The price is a little bit above $300, but you have a pool you can swim in, you have a gym you can go to train. And yes, I understand that looking for an apartment in the pain in the ass. I feel you, I've been there many times, but you have to do it only once in a half a year. And usually you are done within a week. It might be painful, but it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. Look at that majestic creature. Show me a tail, please. Please show me a tail. Do it like this. The second question is either I miss my home. And of course I do. Of course I do miss my home, but even more than a home, I miss people. I miss my family, I miss my girlfriend, I miss my friends. It is very difficult for me to visit them, to see them. Unfortunately, it is a part of the life of a digital nomad. And if you wanna travel, if you wanna live abroad, if you wanna explore the world, it is a part of the journey, and you cannot avoid it. There will be people you will not be able to take with you. Unfortunately, that journey is not for everybody. But today, when you have social medias, when you can video call your family or friends, it became so much easier. Soon I will make a video why it is very important to move out from your family house as soon as possible, and why living away from your family only improves your relationship with them. Absolutely everyone who left their home country misses it. There is nothing wrong about it. For me, it is much easier since I cannot visit Russia anymore due to political reasons. But let me assure you that homesickness is okay, nothing wrong with you, and it happens to everyone. Usually, this feeling arises 6 to 12 months since you live abroad. But what's important is not that feeling, but how you face that feeling, what you do with it and how you solve it. And if you find the strength in you to solve it and to overcome it, if you overcome that pain and get some enjoyment out of your life, after some time it will pass and it will be easier. As for me right now, the whole planet is my home right now. So I don't know what a homesickness is. Yes, of course I still have a place I was born in, but it is not a home anymore. My home is where I am right now. If I'm comfortable there, then it is my home. Simple as that. And that feeling that I'm comfortable almost anywhere in the world is so unbelievable. I'm so grateful for that. Well, and the last questions I would like to discuss is how to pack your whole life in a suitcase. Well, I suppose it is one of the most difficult part for many people, including me. I would love to keep some of the stuff I bought for myself. I would love to build a desktop PC or to make a collection of something. But unfortunately, I cannot right now. I have to think wisely about what things I need and what things I buy, because in a few months I will have to pack it in a suitcase and move across the world with me. And I suppose that limitation makes me more reasonable with the things I buy. I do not waste money because I understand if I buy something I don't need, most likely I will throw it away, and I hate it. Now I will think twice before I buy something new for myself, because I understand soon I will be carrying it in my backpack and moving somewhere else. and I cannot afford the luxury to buy unnecessary stuff. The only way you can understand a country is living in it. You cannot understand it if you spend 2 weeks in a country. No, you need more than that. In order to get used to it, to feel comfortable there, to call a place a home, you need at least 3 months, at least. But I say that you need more, you need half a year. After half a year, you will understand all the pros and cons of the country, and you will decide, do you like it or not. And remember that you always can come back. Nothing stops you. You don't make a choice for your life. You just try. If you go somewhere and try, nothing bad could happen. Only a good thing could happen. Every time you try something, new things happen in your life, and it is so great. Right now, I have absolutely everything I wanted to. I made this decision. I made my own choice, and I got in a place I wanted to. Yes, maybe right now I want to travel on a motorcycle. Maybe right now I want to explore Asia a little bit more. But it doesn't mean that I will not continue slow traveling and I will not continue exploring countries. I still want to live in so many places around the world, and I will definitely do it. And I beg you to start travel. I know it might be scary, I know it might sound expensive, but it's not. I promise you it's not. And when you start, you will understand how awesome traveling is. And if you have a chance not to travel by a week or two, but for a few months, please do it. Please, I beg you. It is so awesome. That experience will change you, and your perspective on life and people around you, everything will change. And that is the point of that YouTube channel and that video. Just start traveling. Please stop watching YouTube videos. Start traveling. It is impossible to give through a camera. You can only live that experience, feel it. It might be scary, but there is nothing scary, and there is not a single thing you will not overcome during your travels. Well, it is at least what I believe, what's in my head and what I'm trying to tell you. I believe that traveling gave me so much, and I would love to share that feeling. I would love to share my experience, and I will keep doing that. Thank you for watching that video. Now I will go home, and it doesn't really matter which one, because home is everywhere.